Shalom.
Shalom.
My name is Rose from Ghana. I represent the team from Africa to share our insight about context and our appreciation. But before I will start, I would like to give a brief talk about Africa. Africa, as we can all see,
It's a very dark country.
Five countries from Africa represent this semester program. Some of the countries or the countries that represented this year's program are Ethiopia, Malawi, Nigeria, Togo, and Ghana. Africa is the second largest continent in the world in terms of land mass and also population. It has 54 countries, and the continent is blessed with natural resources such as rivers and lakes, forests, deserts, and different kinds of animals which are a little bit or somehow differ from that of Israel. The topography about the topography. Learning the biblical text within its historical and geographical context has helped us to realize our limitations in understanding some biblical texts due to the differences in geography. And I would like to mention just few of these differences. The first one is about understanding the appreciation of shepherding. That's Psalm 23. At my left-hand side, you see a shepherd with cattle, and that represents Africa, and at my right represents Israel. The psalmist in Psalm 23 describes his shepherding experiences, and I want to compare and contrast the shepherding in Africa with that of Israel, especially in the Judean deserts. Shepherding in Africa, in both rainy season and dry season, we have enough grasses to feed our animals. The shepherd has enough shade to hide whenever the weather is too hot or it is too sunny. And even in the dry season, the animals get enough grasses to feed on. But when we went to Judean desert during their time of winter, this is the way it looks like. And their summer too, it looks like this. And this is actually against the reality of our background as Africans, because the way we look, we know about Psalm 23 verse 2. Even though I walk through the green pastures, this is the way we consider it. And this has given us a good idea about what the psalmist have said. The second one is accessibility of water. In Africa, during rainy season and even at the dry season, animals have access to water, and it is very easy. Shepherds doesn't suffer to get water for their animals. But at the Judean desert, during winter time, it is very rare for the shepherd to get water for his animals. And this is something very new we have learned, because at that time, the shepherd at times have to draw water from the cistern or the well before he can give to the animals to drink. You see? Then another one too is about valleys. In Ghana, when we talk about valleys, it's like two mountains, and there's a dip. In the Hebrew, they said Wadi Nahar. And in Africa, our emek look like this, as we can see here. And at this place, there's nothing like farming. We cannot farm at all. But when we came to Israel and we went to Jezreel Valley and Harod Valley, looking at this place, they can make their own farms and the crops yield very well for them. So for us in Africa, we will consider Jezreel Valley and Harod Valley as Shfela, lowland. So this is another difference we have seen. So this is an Africa Shfela or lowland, which is between mountains. And at this place, we can have our farming very effectively. Then the last one is about mountains and hills. Before we come to Israel, we know of Psalm 125 verse 2, that as mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people. So we were thinking that the mountains are the heavy ones, as we know in Africa. But when we came, we realized that the way we have a perception about mountains was a little bit different. And you can see this place, the mountain we see here, is a mountain surrounded a village in Ghana called Amejope. You find it difficult before you get to that community because of the mountains around that place. But when we went to Mount Olives and Mount Scopus, I was a little bit surprised. All because we thought the mountains are very high and it is not something that you can easily climb. So we Africans will consider Mount Olives and Mount Scopus as hills, but not mountains. Our mountains are very high, as you can see the second picture. But when we went to Mount Carmel, Mount Hermon, and Mount Table, there we saw what we called in our continent as mountain. So in short, these are the differences we were able to maybe mention due to time. So to conclude everything, this particular program have given us the understanding and appreciation which will enable us to explain better the text in its historical geography and cultural context to our colleagues who are also translators. And the second one is better and natural translation of the biblical text that will be in line with its original text. Thank you very much. God bless you.